web development. Okay, I'll try to give you the design side of the web development. Handout number 5, cover course learning outcomes. Number 5, create clear and easy to read websites. Chapter 5, web design. Learning objective. In this chapter, you will learn how to describe the most common types of website organization, create clear, easy website navigation, design user-friendly web pages, and create accessible web pages, describe design principles, and describe web page design techniques. And finally, apply best practices of web design. Of course, here there is two examples of web page. Okay, we have to consider the target audience of these sites. Yeah, it means that there is no good and bad web design, but we have to see the audience, the nature of the site. Website organization. We have three main organizations of the website: hierarchical, linear, and random. Hierarchical organization, a clearly defined home page. Like we have the head of the home page, it's very clear. Navigation links to major site section. And from the home page we can navigate for other sections. Often used for commercial and corporate websites. And for commercial website, we use this hierarchical organization. This is another example of hierarchical organization, which is too shallow. As you see here, it's too long. We have the home page and we have so many links. Be careful that the organization is not too shallow. Yeah, it's too shallow, it's a bad thing. Too many choices, it's a confusing and less usable website. And information chunking. 7 plus or minus 2, this is the principle. And it has to be from 5 to 9 links. Many web designers try not to place more than 9 major navigation links on a page or in a well-defined page area. Hierarchical 2D. This is the second kind of hierarchical organization of a web design. As you see here, it's too deep. Be careful that the organization is not too deep. This result is in many clicks needs to drill down to the needed page. And we have to do so many clicks to go to our choice. User interface 3-click rule. A web page visitor should be able to get from any page on your site to any other page on your site with a maximum of 3 hyperlinks. And this is too deep, it has to end like here. This is the 3-click rules. 1 click, 2, and 3. It has to stop here, the navigation. Linear organization. This is the third kind in organization of website design, which we have the home page and after that our session. like a series of pages that provide a tutorial or presentation. Sequential viewing. If we have, for example, tutorial, we will go to home page, we will get lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, and like that. Random organization, sometimes called web organization. Usually there is no clear path. There is no path, it's not clear from where to go. Usually there is no clear path through the site. May be used with artistic or concept sites, not typically used for commercial sites. Website navigation best practices. Make your site easy to navigate. Provide clearly labeled navigation in the same located on each page. Most common across top or down left side. Provide breadcrumb navigation to retrace the steps through the sites. Types of navigation. Graphics based. We can click on graphic or on picture like this. It's graphic based. Text based on a text. Interactive navigation technology like image, roll over, flash, like animation, HTML flyout or drop down menus. Website navigation. Accessibility tip. Provide plain text links in the page footer when the main navigation is non-text media, such as images, Flash, or HTML. Use a table of content with links to other parts of the page for long pages. Consider breaking long pages into multiple shorter pages using linear organization. Large sites may benefit from a site map or site search feature. Design principle. For example, we have this home page for a website. One of the most common design principle is repetition. So we repeat visual elements through design. For example, if we are seeing here, we will have rectangles and there is repetition of this item. We can look here also, there is repetition of rectangles, which is like image. This is repetition. Okay, so we can, in repetition we can repeat visual elements through design. For contrast, mainly the contrasts are in colors. For example, this is an environmental web design, so we have the green color, we have the yellow, so all the elements are environmental. But we have great contrast. Like for example, blue with green, it's a great contrast. Proximity, it's group related items. For example, here, all these icons are related to each other. Here also, these two information are related to each other. So, and these three labels are related to each other. So this is the proximity. Okay? It's the group related items. Alignment. Align elements to create visual unity. Here, alignment is very interesting element in design. So we make the data aligned, like this. For example, here also it's an alignment for data and text with the images. But I want to tell you some contrast for color is very good, but there is some contrast to avoid. For example, the yellow with the purple, it creates vibration, so we cannot use yellow and purple. Also blue and orange. And there is three main contrasts to avoid: the blue with orange, the red with the purple, and the green with blue. Okay. Web page design, target audience. Design for your target audience. Appropriate reading level of text. Yeah, when we are choosing the font and the size, it has to be legible. Appropriate use of color. Appropriate use of animation. Of course, we cannot put an exaggerated animation on our website. Web page design, color and animation. Use color and animation that appeal to your target audience. For example, if we have to choose a color for kids, of course, it's not similar like for adults. For kids, it has to be bright, colorful tones of animation. For young and adults, we have to use the dark one. The contrast has to be less, okay? More subtle animation. For everyone, good contrast between background and text. Easy to read, and avoid animation if it makes the page load too slow. Accessibility tip. Many individuals are unable to distinguish between certain colors. Web pages do not look the same in all the major browsers. So this is for web page design browsers compatibility. We have to check which browser can go with our website. Test with current and recent version of Internet Explorer, Firefox, Mozilla, Opera, and Mac version. Designs to look best in one browser and degrade gracefully. Look okay in others. Web page design, screen resolution. Test at various screen resolution. Most widely used, the 1024 by 768, the 1280 by 1024, and the 800 by 600. Designed to look good at various screen resolution. Centered page content set to either a fixed or percentage width. And the resolution, we have to check our resolution to get clear image in our websites. Wireframe, a sketch or blueprint of a web page, show the structure of the basic page elements, including, of course, logo, navigation, content, and footer. Here, the logo we can, of course, it has to be here. And then the navigation, these are the main section of our website. Then the content must be here, and then, of course, the footer in the end. Web page design layout. Place the most important information above. Of course, it has to be above. Use adequate white or blank space. And of course, our web page can't be too crowded. Okay, we have to keep some blank space. Okay. Use an interesting page layout. For example, here, this is usable but a little boring. See the next slide for improving in page layout. And if we are seeing here, of course, there is some rules like putting logo here, the main part of our website, and also the content is here, the footer is here. This is okay, but it's a little bit boring. This is better. Columns make the page more interesting and it's easier to read this way. For example, this is columns, okay, and it's easy to read. But best if we are adding some images, okay. Column of different width, interpret with graphics and heading, create the most interesting, easy to read page. And here we add some graphics, okay, which is images. Page layout design technique. There is 3 design technique with ice design, aka rigid or fixed design, fixed width, usually at left margin. The jello design, page content typically centered in the middle, often configured with a fixed or percentage width such as 80%, and the liquid design, page expand to fill the browser at all resolution. This is the 3 main design techniques. The web design best practices checklist. If we are doing a website design, we have to check these items. The first one is the page layout. How I put my content, my logo, and this is design. The browser compatibility. Of course, I have to check with which browser my web is working with. The navigation. Is it easy to navigate in your website? The color and graphics, which is the contrast, how to put images and the contrast of colors and everything. The multimedia, maybe we can add some audio or animation items. The content presentation, of course, this is the data, our data in the website. The functionality and the accessibility. This is the checklist of the best practices in website design. Summary. This chapter introduced you to best practice of web design, the choices you made in the use of color, graphics, and text should be based on your particular target audience. You have to see if it's an entertainment website or something more serious. Developing an accessible website should be the goal of every web developer. Okay. Now we will see together a video for the principles of the website development.
حطيه مرة ثانية.